Hey guys, Scriptweaver here with another video, and I thought I would discuss this. Yes, the lore of Luke's right hand. I'm not trying to be weird here, but that's literally what it is, and it's just so silly. It's silly in so many ways, and it's silly. I think it's silly in the EU. I think it's silly in Canon, or whatever, Disney Canon. So I felt like I should talk about it. And one of the things that's kind of interesting is that there's this guy who used computer to make the original opening scene they were thinking of doing for the Force Awakens. And this is based on an interview with Mark Hamill where he talked about they were going to use his severed hand. And honestly, I don't know. Those movies were so bad, but if they had done this, at least we would have got a really good laugh out of it, I think, for the most part. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section if you think this is cool, because to me this is just hilarious.
Yo, nigga. I said it should have some lanolin in it.
And so the original video is from a guy named Tim Gray. You can look him up on the YouTube. And so here, let's take a look at this here. So the hand clasping the lightsaber somehow is floating around in space. Can you imagine if this is what they did? It's just floating around in space. So his hand gets cut off, somehow goes down the shaft and into somewhere that ends up floating in space. And then Maz somehow finds it. I don't know. This is just so bizarre and hilarious at the same time. And then the hand releases the saber. So the saber gets caught up in the atmosphere and gets sucked into, I think, Tatooine, it looks like. Oh, man. Anyway, and so then that means that Luke's hand is just floating around in space. It's just this somebody's right hand. Imagine finding that. It's like, whoa. Why was this guy's right hand? What happened to him? What was he doing when this happened? Somebody comes across it.
And the Force? Well, that's just microscopic bacteria in your bloodstream called midichlorians.
Look, if you're not going to take this seriously, I'm out.
Oh, so it's Jakku. So it floated through space from Bespin to Jakku. Okay, so look, consulting the galaxy map, we see that Bespin is a ways away from Jakku. So somehow the hand was propelled through space across bazillions of miles and is floating above Jakku. And then the saber got sucked into the atmosphere, not the hand. Now that's whatever. That's Buddy's thing, but this is based on something Mark Hamill had said. So this is so insanely silly. What happened? Did it somebody was traveling through hyperspace towards Jakku from the area around Bespin, and then the thing got smacked up against their windshield, and they're just going. Chewie, get that thing off the windshield. And so what, was that going to be Darth Vader? just, going for a little jog on Jakku, getting some Exy in. Just walking around. Was that Maz? Just randomly walking through a gigantic desert on Jakku to get the lightsaber. And maybe that's why she didn't want to. It's a story for another time because we don't want to have to. We don't want to have to just tell everybody this extremely boring story of me walking through a desert. But going back to the two different, the Disney and the EU, let's just take a look at this.
What happened to Luke Skywalker's severed hand after The Empire Strikes Back? In Star Wars canon, the Emperor's minions retrieved Luke's hand. It eventually found its way to Exegol, where Darth Vader discovered it, along with early clone versions of what would eventually become Snoke.
Yeah, this is in that Darth Vader comic they made. With pain, the scalpel of creation. I used it to make all of these things. I can use it to make anything. And then they show his hand. So they're implying that they can use Luke Skywalker's severed hand to make all kinds of things and create stuff. Like, think about the implications of this. Like, that means that, like, his hand fell down Bespin. And then what? Like, what happened, Disney? Like, this is so silly.
Where'd you get that?
A good question. For another time. Take it!
In Star Wars Legends, Luke's severed hand eventually came into the possession of the Dark Jedi clone, Jeru Sabayoth, who worked with Grand Admiral Thrawn on Mount Tantus. The hand was used to generate a dark clone of Luke Skywalker named Luke with 2 U's.
Luke!
Okay, all right, fine, let's go.
The Luke clone was grown in less than a month and trained by Sabayoth, eventually unleashed against the real Luke Skywalker and Mara Jade in a duel in the Emperor's throne room on Mount Tantus. The Luke clone put Skywalker on the back foot, but was eventually killed by Mara Jade, who wielded Leia's lightsaber. However, the entire experience went on to traumatize Luke Skywalker in the days following.
I'm sorry. That's the best they can come up with? It created a dark clone of Luke that they named Luke, but they added another U, so it's Luke.
WNBC.
WNBC.
That's not. WNBC. Why the
WNBC.
One more.
What the heck? That is the silliest thing ever. You know that that's silly. Like, it's silly no matter what. Disney's just, they're both just, that's silly. Like, I'm sorry, but Luke. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, on one hand, it's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of, like, you know, The Adventures of Link or something, where you have to fight the Shadow Link guy at the end instead of Ganon. And he's, like, the evil Link, I guess. I mean, on some level, it could kind of be cool.
Chandler, you are not gonna believe this. I have found my identical hand twin.
But doing it, like, the severed hand stuff, like, just think about what that means. Like, so Vader cuts his hand off and then what? Sends the minions to go look for it on Cloud City? That's what we're doing now? I don't know. I find that really corny. And so, like, in both cases, you've got, like, the Empire going and looking for his severed hand. Like, that was a thing. Like, I don't know. Like, here's the way I always looked at it. Like, when Luke falls down the shaft and ends up in whatever that pipe at the bottom of Cloud City, and then he manages to escape, I always took that as kind of being very fortunate that, like, typically whatever fell down that shaft was probably just gone. It probably just fell all the way through or something and ended up in the gaseous killer clouds of Bespin, but I guess not. I don't know. It's super weird. And so, like, the whole thing is that, like, Luke survives that incident, not that that's just what happens. Things fall down there and then guys go along and pick them up and do stuff. And then there's like this whole lore created by people online, like talking about how like Darth Vader purposely cut his hand off so that he could send down somebody to go get it. And all of it, of course, just adding to the stupidity of Palpatine returning in the Disney lore. Or lack thereof. So the whole thing, all I have to say, guys, bottom line, like, dude, let his hand go, right? Let his hand go. It doesn't need to be part of anything. We don't need to make every single solitary, stupid little thing like a whole, like, series of lore issues. Like, we're literally talking about a guy's right hand, and he's holding a cylindrical object. Like, guys, come on. And then finally, I have a final question here for those of you that stuck around this long. If you were to buy the Luke Skywalker right hand, would you prefer it with or without the lightsaber? That is a very, very pertinent and important question. I'd like to hear about what you think about that in the comment sections. Which one would you choose? As usual, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. It always helps the channel. Feel free to check anything else on my channel. Have yourselves a really good day.